And this last county commissioner meeting of 2000 and what is this, 25? Okay, well, anyway, welcome to you all. We always start these with the Pledge of Allegiance, so let's do it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And today, of all days, an auspicious occasion in which we will be proclaiming recognition of our friend. Well, some of us, he's our friend, but I guess others are. Mr. Tim Burton. Am I doing this correctly? Okay. They've both done this before, I haven't. That's okay, I'll learn. I'm a quick study. Mr. Tim Burton, where are you? Okay, do you think I should make you stand up and approach the podium? Stand up and make your confession. Tim Burton, this is a pretty hard thing for some of us to do. You've been around here a long time and we may not have always agreed, but we've always respectfully addressed each other's issues, and I've enjoyed working with you. Let's see. Do I read the proclamation and then let him speak? I think I'll let him speak.
However you'd like to do it.
In the past 18 years, or however many you've gotten,
Typically, we said a few words about him, read the proclamation, and then.
oh, and then he gets to speak. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Or.
as the person who's worked with him the longest, because you obviously are the senior member of this group. Well, anyway, Andy, why don't you say a few words about our friend Tim Burton?
I'd love to. I didn't know he was gonna be here. I had the stuff I was gonna say, I didn't wanna say in front of him. No, Chair Payne, thank you very much. Tim, I'm so glad that we get to honor you for a few minutes today, and it is a small token of appreciation for all that you've been and done for our community in so many ways. And I view you as a friend and colleague and a mentor in so many ways. We've been around here on and off for nearly the last 20 years for me, and you've been here longer, of course. And so I just appreciate the way you do your work, the way you are among us, and the way you approach issues, and whether they're problems or opportunities that we share together. It's been an honor to work with you. So I just wanted to take this time to thank you and appreciate you for all that you've done and all that you've done for both the city and the county and local government in general and the state of Montana. So you've done a lot for all of us, and just appreciate you very much. So
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, Andy, Tom, you have a few words?
You know, I would love to add my congratulations for Tim's retirement, and thanks for the way that you conduct business. Our association hasn't been as long as Andy's has with you, but I've always respected you and appreciated your straightforward attitude and your constant smile. And thank you for all that you've done for us. And thank you for being a great team member in the Helena, Lewis and Clark County society that we have here. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And my comments, just read this. You've been a pretty stand-up guy, and I appreciate that. You will certainly be missed, and you will have big shoes to fill when you take off. And with that, I would like to read this proclamation for you. This is Lewis and Clark County Proclamation in special recognition of Tim Burton. Whereas City Manager Tim Burton will be leaving his post at the City of Helena to head for greener pastures, and whereas Tim served as Lewis and Clark County Chief Administrative Officer from 1994 to 2000, then becoming Helena City Manager the first time. And whereas Tim is greatly responsible for the excellent partnership that has been forged between Lewis and Clark County and the City of Helena, whereas Tim's straightforward, no-nonsense approach to guiding the ship has led to stability and success for the City of Helena, and whereas while we welcome a new city manager, his friends and colleagues will always remember Tim for his wit, vision, kindness, and spirit. And whereas Tim will now take on the challenges of grandparenting and the joyous exhaustion it can bring. And whereas we hope that even though going forward, he won't likely know if the day is Tuesday or Saturday, he will always remember the special gratitude and fondness that we share for him. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lewis and Clark County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim December 30th, 2025 as Tim Burton Day in Lewis and Clark County. This is dated this 30th day of December, 2025, and it is signed by the 3 county commissioners and attested by Amy Reeves. With that, no, Miss. Uh-oh, he's headed for me. We're gonna take a picture and hand it to you. Do you have some, you see that lady in the purple? Okay, you get to say a few remarks, and after your remarks are done, we will decide whether or not you get a picture.
Thank you, very much, Madam Chair and Commissioners and county staff. You're much too kind. We do the proclamations just a little different on the city side, so I was using the city process.
This ain't no city process, Tim.
I do believe that this is an opportunity for us all, and you know, our relationship between the county and the city, Helena, but also East Helena and the unincorporated community throughout the county. When it's time to get something done, we come together to do just that. Whether it's dealing with the fire departments, the rural fire departments, and the coordination with the city fire departments, or the coordination that exists with the SWAT team and the sheriff and the police chief and their respective staffs. We sat around legal tables many times with city attorney, county attorney, or public works folks if they need help during, you know, an incident. They call each other and they work together, just as we do up in this beautiful building. And you know, we're all fortunate to work in a building like this that the city and the county, by the way, acquired for $1 and other considerations, which was a pretty good buy. But it's really the work that happens in this building that's most important. And the working relationships, the strong relationships that the city and the county have had for decades now, with the fact that our governing bodies meet on a regular basis every month, talk about, or every quarter, to talk about business and how we can better serve the residents of the county and the city as a testament to leadership on both sides, both the county and the city. And the beneficiaries are the residents of Lewis and Clark County and the city of Helena. So it's always been my pleasure to be a part of that. Everything that we do, as you well know, is a team effort. And we've got some pretty outstanding teams on in both organizations. So with that, I would like to thank you for the honor today. I've never had a day named after me. So that's a first. And I would just like to go on the record that it's not Tim Burton, the movie guy. That's a different Tim.
We've never heard of the other guy. You're the only one we've talked to.
But anyway, thank you. I'm honored and humbled and appreciate this.
Thank you, Tim. Let's,
Sure thing. If I could, before
Oh,
Mr.
Lord,
Burton,
I
please.
forgot to
No,
introduce everybody.
no, I just wanted to.
it's
take a
good thing
moment.
it's my last day, right? I can't be trained, obviously. Well,
I just wanted to add my voice to saying thank you to Tim Burton. I've only known Tim in the context of the past few years as he's worked as city manager for the city of Belmont. Tim, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for all the help you've given me, helped us with our partnership, problem solving, that kind of thing. I really appreciate the way you do your job. I think that builds confidence in everybody in local government. So thank you for, and good luck to you.
I am sorry I did not give you the opportunity to speak earlier, Roger, just the excitement just, throws me off my game. That is the end of agenda item 2A, but now we get to do 2B, which is special recognition of Mayor Wilmot Collins. I'm glad you could be here today. I heard you were traveling, but this is an important.
I'm back on the block.
Good. Andy, you have a few words to start us off with regarding the mayor?
Chair Payne, thank you, gosh, again, like I said to Mr. Bird, you weren't here, but I'll say it again, I've had a lot of things to say that I didn't want to say into your face, so. No, again, well, I go back a ways. I remember, it might have been the first time I was running for office. You were helping me put up signs and I split my head open when I was pounding in a post and you had to take me to urgent care. I think so. It goes way back to, that might have been in 2006.
Yeah.
Something like that. So anyway, Mr. Mayor, it's been an honor to work with you, of course, and we'll miss you around here, your smiling face and your silliness, of course, but you're also your care for our community and the way you represented yourself around Helen and to the citizens that you serve, and of course the partnership with Elizabeth County, and that's part of why we're doing this today. Is that we really want to honor that, and it's a special thing, the partnership that we have. I tell people this all the time, that we go around the state and we go to McCauley meetings and we hear from other communities that they don't have quite the special relationship that we have with this county has with our city, our host city, and it's important. It's important that we work together, and I think we fostered that and helped grow that. And I can say that you've also become a good friend of mine. So I appreciate that, and I will miss you around these halls. You're leaving it in good hands. Congratulations to our new mayor. She sits back there and is ready to take up the staff as we go forward. But we'll miss you. I wish you the best in all you do, and I hope you come around and bother us here and there. See you. So, thank you.
Tom, you could say a few words.
Certainly. Mr. Mayor, I really have appreciated our friendship, and From the first time I think I was introduced to you by my daughter when you two of you were working together at the VA. You have a heart for people. And whether it was helping my daughter get to her car because of her mobility issues, or whether it's helping people in our community to be better served by their local government. You have a special way of doing that it doesn't come natural to some folks, but it does to you. The way you reach out and help people, I really appreciate. We've been able to enjoy a meal or two together and have become friends. I think once again proving that we can be friendly even though we don't always agree about things. And I have enjoyed the personal relationship, the professional relationship, the respect I have for you in the way that you conduct yourself. Thank you for all you've done for our community.
And Mayor Collins, I haven't known you as long as these two gentlemen have, but I have worked with you the last 3 years as commissioner, and previous to that, and you have brought honor to the office of mayor and of Helena in general. A diplomatic and dignified manner of handling problems and discussing issues with people. And we all appreciate that. That's what we look for in our leaders. And we notice when it's not there, and when it is there, we say thank you for sending this man. So Wilmot, we wish you very well. And I believe at this point, I'm going to read this proclamation. And of course, the day we're on right now, December 30th, is Tim Burton Day. So tomorrow will be Wilmot Collins Day. That's the way this is going to work, okay? Denigrate the honor to Tim Burton. Okay. Lewis and Clark County Proclamation in special recognition of Mayor Wilmot Collins. Whereas Mayor Collins has devoted the past 8 years to public service in municipal government, serving with distinction as the mayor of Helena. And whereas Mayor Collins was elected to serve Helena citizens as mayor in 2018. Boy, seems like a long time. And whereas Mayor Collins has tackled the numerous challenges of municipal government with integrity and commitment, and whereas Mayor Collins always recognized the importance of working closely with Lewis and Clark County as a partner, knowing that a positive relationship better serves the community. And whereas no matter the issue, Mayor Collins always put the citizens and the employees of the city of Helena first. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners would like to thank Mayor Collins for his many years of service to the city of Helena and the greater community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lewis and Clark County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim Wednesday, December 31st, 2025 as Mayor Wilmot Collins Day in Lewis and Clark County. This is dated this 31st. This is dated tomorrow. We're post-dating, but it'll be official tomorrow, okay? So congratulations. And I think we'll let you make a few comments if you'd like to, and then we will stand up and present this and have opportunity for photographs. I'm so glad you made the effort to be here today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, you're not getting rid of me, Andy, because I'm moving into the county now. So, Maccauley is on the market for the county, so I'll still come to the meetings where I harass you guys, so rest assured. But I want to thank you for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. It's been a pleasure building up our friendship, and I don't know what to say about it, but I'll reiterate what Commissioner Hunthausen said, because I've heard it also. Other mayors have asked, how do you work with your county commissioners? I said, oh, beautiful, we meet every month and we iron things out. Damn, I didn't even get to meet with mine. So, I mean, it says a lot about what we do together and how we've managed to accomplish all we accomplished together. I thank you all for that, and the city appreciates your partnership. So, yes, I'm leaving, but I'm here. I know the rumor is out saying I'm moving to Missoula. I don't know where the rumor came from. I heard it yesterday. I'm not leaving, Andy. I'll be right under your hair harassing you guys. And to the new mayor, I'm still here for you. I'll harass you too. So, I want to thank you all for everything, and yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you.
I started that rumor, I just wanted.
Okay, let's see, we got the mild camera, like we like to.
We do.
Not this way. They all leave it. Well, thank you all for coming. We're moving right along now to the consent action items. Consent action item 3A. Do I call on you or do Larymie? Okay. And this will be presented by Mr. Rada.
Okay, thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. You have 3 consent action items. I'll read them into the record for you to consider today. The first is item 3A, Resolution 2025-125, declaring county property surplus property. Staff recommends approval of that item. The next item is item 3B. It's the affidavit of assets, and staff recommends approval of that item. And the third item for you today is item 3C on the agenda. It's resolution 2025-126, establishing the 2026 fire season and related burn permits and fees for Lewis and Clark County. Staff also recommends that item for your approval. Commissioners, thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any comment from Commission? This is an easy group here today, Roger. Is there any public comment on these consent action items? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move to approve consent action items 3A, 3B, and 3C, as explained by Roger Ball.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent action items 3A, 3B, 3C as presented by Roger Falls. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing no further comment, all in favor of the motion to approve consent action items 3A, 3B, and 3C indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Moving right along. consent of the action item 4A. This is the grant task order between Louisville Clark Public Health and the Montana Department of Health and Human Services. And this will be presented by Mr. Fred Sargeson. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Chair Day, Commissioners. My name is Fred Sargeson. I'm the Operations Manager at Louisville Clark Public Health. The Commissioners will consider accepting the task order for the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services for environmental health and food safety licensing. The term for the task order begins January 1st, 2026 and runs through December 31st, 2026. Due to the significant legislative changes in the structure and categorization of licenses and a new fee structure, the task order does not contain a maximum total amount of funding. The task order does define the mechanism used to determine the percentage of collected fees that will be paid to the department and clarifies that the amount cannot exceed the amount collected by the state for those licenses. The department budgeted $62,000 based on the previous year in revenue from these licenses. Subsequent to the budgeting process, the legislature passed an increase in license fees and the new structure referenced earlier. We expect roughly double the amount budgeted to be collected under the task order. Also important to note, the licensed establishment program is funded primarily through the mill, budgeted at $347,051 for fiscal year 26. The licensed establishment program employs three remarkably talented, committed, and passionate sanitarians and a working supervisor to review plans for new establishments and changes of ownership, and inspect licensed establishments to ensure that they meet licensing requirements established in state law. Staff also offer food safety training to food service and child care workers. Staff also review and approve for those planning to serve or sell food at special events such as farmers markets and a fair. And the purpose of this program is to protect the health and safety of local residents by preventing disease outbreaks. Around 700 establishments are licensed and most inspected annually by the department, including retail food, which is restaurants, fast food, grocery stores, and convenience stores, public accommodations, which include motels, hotels, and tourist homes, pools and spas, and trailer courts and campgrounds. Staff also inspect daycare centers and group homes for environmental safety. Staff recommends it.
Thank you, Fred. Any questions from the commission?
If I'm not, Chair Payne, but it would appear from what you're saying here that about, even though the fees for doing the licensed facilities inspection is increased, it's about 2/3 funded by the general public. Is that correct? Or maybe more, 3/4 maybe.
Chair Payne, Commissioner Hall, yes, that $347,000 is subsidized by the mill, or well, really primarily funded by the mill. And then there's the fees generated off the permits and licenses, had been about $62,000. We can assume it's going to be about double the state's projected about $135,000, which should alleviate, pressure from potential increases. We have right now we hit about 95% of our license inspections each year, which is remarkable. The level is usually 85 or 90% required by the state to get our portion of funding. Our target's 100%, and so each year we're hoping to do more.
And I guess if I might follow up on that, it's just, I think this is an indication that the individual businesses do participate in the cost, but it's a public interest. So the vast majority of the money is coming from county funding through the county property tax.
Chair Payne, Commissioner Hall, as well.
Thank you.
I want to clarify something. As I recall, I listened to this hearing. I may have actually gone in and supported it because my understanding, it had been an awful long time since these fees had been looked at, and I'm thinking 20 years or so. Do you remember how many years it had been since we had had an increase in this fee?
Commissioner Bain, I don't, I know it had been a long time, but if I might just ask Brenda if she knows about, 2009, sure.
Brenda.
She's not here sure for me, but I'm lucky that she is.
No, yeah, I understand where she, but this seems like an amazing, long time to not have an increase in fees. When during that time, everything else has just increased exponentially. So I think the food servers and the people who this law is trying to keep in line have gotten their full share of what they should expect from the last 20 years. So I'm hoping this will help us safe and make sure everything is run on a very professional manner, as I'm sure it is.
And Commissioner Bean, I appreciate that. It is what a remarkable group of teams that actually we just went through our some process for strategic planning, sort of sat down with the team. I was just remarkably impressed with how committed they are to excellence, to how much weight they put on their own shoulders for doing this job well, and how they plan strategically to constantly sort of both the reach that they have and the sort of education they can provide to operators and services they can provide. It's licensing, right? But it's also, we provide a lot of services, education, help. The approach we take is to help get people compliance by making sure they understand what's necessary to protect the health of our residents. And I'd also say we have a remarkable group of operators out there that run establishments that are good partners and
Thank you, Fred. Andy.
Thank you. I won't repeat what's been said. I appreciate what's been said. I just wanted to remark to the process a little bit. It's been a number of years and a number of sessions where there's been an attempt to try and increase the fees on licensed establishments to get more in line and more proportionate, I guess, in terms of their share of the contribution, because it has been a bit one-sided in the local taxpayer subsidizing the inspection. So now a little more of a share where there's of course the public interest, but also the interest of the business to make sure that they have a clean bill of health, if you will, and good guidance that we can give if we're funded well. So I'm really happy that this has come finally to this point. And Commissioner, I think you mentioned that you had been up there lobbying, and I think many other counties have. This has been brought to McCauley meetings for a number of years. Really appreciate all the work done by the public health organizations across the state. There's several that really got behind this, cities and towns, and the counties got behind this as well. And I were able to pass an increase in fee, which is going to help greatly. As you can see, you double this, and we're looking at, between 120 and 130,000 via the fees versus 60,000, which will take a little pressure off our local taxpayer to do so. So just thanks for the work, and looking forward to kind of the new Macon. Happy to support. Thanks, Chairman.
Commissioner Bean, Commissioner Honda, thank you for.
Thank you, Fred. Any more questions? Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chairman, I would move to approve the grant task order between Elizabeth Clark County Public Health and the Montana Department of Health and Human Services as presented. Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve action item 4A, grant task order between Lewis and Clark Public Health and the Montana Department of Health and Human Services as presented by President Sargeson. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item 4B, request for county national opioid settlement funds by Lewis and Clark Public Health and McCauley. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioners, and McCauley, Director of Grants and Procurement. Before you today is a request for County National Opioid Settlement Funds by the Lewis and Clark Public Health Department. Since early January 2022, Lewis and Clark County has been the direct recipient of multiple national opioid settlements. These funds are intended to address the opioid crisis through prevention, treatment, and recovery infrastructure at the local level. To date, the county has approximately $251,000 available of these funds. The Public Health Department is requesting $25,000 from the county's opioid settlement funds to provide partial support for their universally offered home visiting program from January 1 through June 30th, 2026. Opioid funds will specifically support the continuation and expansion of their home visiting program to include multiple opioid abatement strategies. And the full proposal is attached with this request. This request aligns with the following core strategies for Schedule A and eligible uses, Schedule B, from the list of opioid remediation uses that's part of each of these settlements. We'll read those off for the record. From Schedule A, naloxone and other FDA-approved drugs to reverse opioid overdoses. C, pregnant and postpartum women. E, expansion of warm handoff programs and recovery services. G, prevention programs. And from Schedule B, support people in treatment and recovery. C, connections to care. E, needs of pregnant parents and women, babies with neonatal abstinence syndrome. G, prevent misuse of opioids. H, prevent overdose deaths and other harms reduction. And J, leadership, planning, and coordination. I'd also like to note that Brenda Neiman, Public Health Officer, and Mary Sparks with the Home Visiting Program are both here to provide further information about the program and their request. Staff recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Ann. Questions from the commission?
Just a comment, if I might, the money is about $250,000 in that fund. And I think as we've talked about it, the balance of the money we'd like to keep and set aside to see if we can get a facility like the Journey Home open. And if we need it for that, then we will. But this is a good use of a portion of that money that certainly seems to fit. But I think in my own mind, this is the balance of that we'd like to keep available to make sure we get the mental health facility, addiction facility open in our community, like the performance work like we envisioned in the journey.
Thank you, Tom. Andy? I feel like since our friends from the Public Health Department bothered to come in here, I'd like to invite them to come up and make some comments on this program, how important it is.
Morning, Chair Payne, Commissioners. Thank you for having me come up. I'm Mary Sparks with Public Health and the Trauma and Family Health Supervisor. And as you know, we started the Universal Home Visiting Program a year ago. We are very excited to be able to expand some of the services that our home visitor provides to everyone in the catchment area of St. Peter's Health. Haley is our home visitor, and she is going to be able to offer naloxone to parents as needed, as requested, but also these screenings for substance use during her time with families. So thank you for the opportunity to be able to expand our services.
Thank you, Mary. Any questions from anyone? Okay, thank you, Mary. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Sure can. I would move to approve the request for county national opioid settlement funds by Lewis and Clark Public Health as explained by the health department. Yeah.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the request for county national opioid settlement funds as explained by our friend friends from, well, Ann's not from public health, but everybody else is, so. Is there any further questions from the commission? I would entertain a motion.
I think we have a
Oh,
motion, we got a motion.
Eventually, great, okay, we have a motion. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the request for county national opioid settlement funds as presented by Ann McCauley and Mary Sparks. All in favor indicate by saying. Wait, do I have to answer any question? We're done, okay. All those in favor say, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Oh, now, goodbye. It's nice seeing you folks. Stay out of trouble. See you next year. We have as action item 4C, appointment to boards by Mr. Fox. Take it away.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. As you just said, this is item 4C on the agenda. Commissioners, you have 14 appointments today. The method that you usually use is to take them one at a time. I'll read the background information into the record for us, and then you consider them one at a time. Like I said, it's the typical process. Excuse me. So for all of these candidates, they meet the qualifications and consideration for each board or committee you're considering today. The first one is the Augusta Solid Waste District. This is a 5-member board. Dale Clark was serving a partial term and wishes to be reappointed to a full term that will expire December 31, 2028. There were no other applicants. Staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2028.
Thank you, Roger. Are there any questions for Roger regarding this appointment? Seeing none, are there any public comments? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we approve everybody to appoint Dale Clark to the Augusta Solid Waste District as presented by Mr. Pauls.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Dale Clark to the Augusta Solid Waste District. Is there any further questions from the commission?
Just a comment, I think that particularly we have generally had a big practice of the board appointments to allow people to be on for 2 terms. And there's no additional request to be appointed. I think it follows the pattern. Having 2 terms on the board gives a little continuity of the board. Gives people a chance to stay on it and use the expertise they gain the first part of the term.
Thank you, John. Anything, Andy? Do I have a motion?
Ready.
Okay, we are ready for a vote. Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Dale Clark to the Augusta Solid Waste District. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne. If I can move on to the next one, it is the Fairgrounds Advisory Board. This is a 12-member board. Marilyn Greeley has served 1 term on the board and wishes reappointment to a 2nd term that will expire December 31, 2028. There were no other applicants. Under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2028. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Are there any questions for Roger regarding this appointment? Is there any public comment? And seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to appoint Marilyn Greeley to a term that would expire December 31st, 2028 on the Fairgrounds Advisory Board.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Marilyn Greeley to the Fairgrounds Advisory Board. Is there any other comment or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving this appointment indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. The next 9 appointments for you to consider all involve the Lewis and Clark County DUI Task Force. The first one is this is a 13-member board with 5 citizens. Jason Zander represents the Helena Police Department on the board and wishes reappointment to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any questions from the commission? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we appoint Jason Zander to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force as presented by Mr. Balls.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Jason Zander to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the appointment of Jason Zander to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next, again, we have the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizens. Tracy Kiesel represents the community groups on the board and wishes reappointment to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Roger on this matter? Seeing none. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to appoint Tracy Kiesel, representing community groups on the board of DUI, on the DUI Task Force Board, to a term that expires December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Tracy Kiesel to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further comments, questions from the commission? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving the appointment of Tracy Kiesel to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Commissioner Payne and Commissioners. Again, Lewis and Clark County DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizens. Sherry Martin represents the Sheriff's Office of Treasurer and wishes reappointment to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Is there any questions? Seeing no questions, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move we appoint Sherry Martin to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force as described by Mr. Balls.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Sherry Martin to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of appointing Sherry Martin to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne. I'll move on to the next one if that's all right. It's also the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. Jordan Barkus represents the Montana Highway Patrol and wishes reappointment to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. And under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Any questions from Roger regarding this appointment? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne would move to appoint Jordan Barkus to to representing the Montana Highway Patrol to a term on the DUI task force expiring December 31st, 27, claimed by right of law.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Jordan Barkus to the Lewis and Clark DUI task force. Is there any further comment? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Next, Chair Payne and Commissioners, again, we have the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. Jason Grimace represents Helena College and wishes reappointment to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any questions or comments from the board, from the commission? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we appoint Jason Grimace to the Lewis and Clark DUI task force. This is that by Mr. Bowles.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we appoint Jason Grimace to the Lewis and Clark DUI task force. Any further comment? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving this motion to appoint Jason Grimace to the Lewis and Clark DUI task force indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next we have, again, the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is still a 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. Deanna, or Dina, I'm not sure how to pronounce her first name, Rothwell, has been serving as the representative of the county attorney's office and has recommended Allie Hagel or Hagley replace her as representative on the board to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. And under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027, with apologies for any mispronunciation. Thank you.
Any questions? I have a question, Roger. Is this standard procedure as a method of replacing people on this DUI board?
Chair Payne and Commissioners, yes, it is. And Brandy, who is with us today, coordinates this for us, and we go through a process of reaching out and communicating on these types of reappointments.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to appoint Allie Hagel to a term on the board of DUI task force and expiring December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Allie Hagel to finish the term on the Lewis and Clark DUI task force as explained by Russ Balls. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next, you again have the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. Jay Nelson served a partial term as a citizen member on the board and wishes reappointment to a full term that will expire December 31, 2027. There were no other applicants. And under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicants to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Rada. Any comment from the commission? Seeing no comment, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I'd move we appoint Jane Nelson to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force as presented by Mr. Balls.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve, Jane Nelson appointment to Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further comment from the commission? Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne. Commissioners, next we again have the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is the 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. Bill Grossman served a partial term as a citizen on the board, which is reappointed to a full first term that will expire December 31, 2027. There were no other applicants. And under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any questions regarding this matter? Seeing no questions, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to approve, Bill Grossman to a term on the DUI task force ending in December 31st, 2027, claimed by Roger Ball.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Bill Grossman to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further questions from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next, we have the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. This is a 13-member board with 5 citizen seats. This is the final DUI-related appointment for this morning for you, Commissioners. Susan Debris and David Clark served as citizens on the board and do not wish reappointment. Peter Schaefer applied. There were no other applicants. Under action, staff recommends that the commission consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the commission? Seeing no questions from the commission, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move we appoint Peter Schaefer to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force as presented by Mr. Balls.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we appoint Peter Schaefer to the Lewis and Clark DUI Task Force. Is there any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of this motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next, we have the Noxious Weed Board. This is a 9-member board. Stacy Barch served a partial term on the board in which is reappointment to a full term that will expire December 31, 2028. There were no other applicants. Under action, staff recommends that the commissioners consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2028. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to approve Stacy Barch to a term on the Noxious Weed Board that goes through December 31st, 2028. Claimed by Mr. Ball.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Stacy Barch to the Noxious Weed Board. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing no comment, all those in favor indicate all those in favor of appointing Stacy Barch to the Noxious Weed Board indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. Next, we have the Noxious Weed Board. This is a 9-member board. David Birch served one term on the board, of which is reappointed to a second term that will expire December 31, 2028. There were no other applicants, and under action, staff recommends the Commissioners consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2028. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any questions from the board? Seeing none, no, and is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we appoint David Birch to the Noxious Weed Board as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of David Birch to the Noxious Weed Board. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. The final appointment item for your consideration this morning is for the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is an 8-member board. Joyce Evans has served two two-year terms, in which is reappointed to a third term that will expire December 31, 2027. There were no other applicants. Under action, staff recommends that the Commissioners consider the applicant to a term that will expire December 31, 2027. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there any questions from the commission? Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I would entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I would move to appoint Joyce Evans to a term ending December 31st, 2027 on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we appoint Joyce Evans to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there any further comment from the board? Seeing no comment, all those in favor of appointing Joyce Evans to the Planning and Zoning Commission indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Got that one. Now, moving right along. It has come to my attention that my duty is the chair. So soon. Item 4D on our action items is appointment or designation of the chair and the vice chair for the Board of County Commission for calendar year 2026. Let's see, would somebody like to make a motion?
Chair Payne,
Yes.
I would move that we nominate elect Tom Raw as our chair for the 2026 calendar year.
Second. If not comfortable with seconding yourself, okay. Can we then do the vice chair designation separately? Under a separate motion, okay, really. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment. All those in favor of appointing Tom Rawl as the chair of the Lewis and Clark County Commission, indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay, Tom, you're it. Then let's entertain a motion regarding the vice chair designation.
Chair Payne, I would move to elect Andy Hunthausen as the vice chair of the Lewis and Clark County Commission for the calendar year 2026.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that we appoint Mr. Andy Hunthausen as vice chair for calendar year 2026. Any further comment? Okay, is there any public comment? Just give a minute. Okay. All those in favor of appointing Andy Penthausen to the vice chair of the Lewis and Clark County Commission, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. Okay, now, I have one further thing. The time has come for us to ask for public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda above.
Sure thing. If I might just make a comment that really is on the agenda, I just want to thank you for your leadership this time.
And I thank you for your patience.
And I noticed it's your first time being chair. I remember being chair for the first time. Andy probably doesn't remember back to the first time he was chair. And but we appreciate your persistence and your.
Thank you. Any further public comment? And then this meeting is adjourned.
Amen. Thanks.
We're gonna do that for another 3 years, right?
Yeah. You did, if I want, but take that, you're out.